Was it? What's that now? Say that again.
Are you the office?
I am. Yeah. We still been meeting at the office. We've kind of had a staggered schedule.
Yeah.
So I'm coming in, and we mostly all come in on Monday, and then I don't come back till Thursday. Seth comes in on Tuesday. Jennifer and Seth come in and film a children's thing on Wednesday, and so we're doing mostly stuff from home, like you guys.
Good. Yeah. Crazy time.
It really is, and it is nuts. How are things with you guys?
They're going well. I mean, I'm ready for this thing to be over, but feel like we're carrying on, getting to do some good stuff.
Well, we're waiting on. Supposedly today, our governor was supposed to release certain findings or whatever about a slow get back to it type schedule.
Yeah.
At home stuff, but nothing's come out except CDC kind of came out with some regulations for churches that we read over a little while ago. And so,
what did they say?
Well, it was extremely complicated. Some of it was for recommendations. Really, the hardest part is children's ministry. They obviously you can meet and there are certain limited amounts of people that can meet, but they're still wanting you to socially distance. But when it comes to like nursery or childcare or things like that, they're recommending one teacher be with that group of kids. And I don't know how you socially distance kids. So anyways, and so it's like one teacher per 5 kids. It's a nightmare. It really, it made me go, yeah, we're not going to do that. But
oh my goodness, yeah, we're waiting on what's going to be said this week too. I don't know.
Yeah.
How many people did they say how many could you have in church service?
They didn't give a number yet. So
Okay.
I think what they're waiting on is they're saying if you do this, kind of do it this way with daycares and children's ministry and things like that. But it's up to the governors to control the release of the numbers.
Okay.
Group gatherings of 50 probably is where it'll start. That's what we're thinking, and then 100, and then 200, and come back up. But
hard. Yeah,
I don't know. It's a weird time.
It is.
Yeah. So thanks for joining me. Gateway, you guys obviously know this man, and so we've had Danny Dodd and Eddie Levick have met with me, and we've aired those videos, and I'm going to be asking you some of the same questions I asked them, which are pretty simple, but just more of a conversation to have with you. If you don't know,
great to be with you.
Oh yeah. Well, if you guys don't know who this is my former mentor, and I would even say current mentor, but he is a minister at the Landmark Church of Christ. But before that, he's had a stint at University Church of Christ in Tuscaloosa, and now he is the minister at the Landmark Church of Christ in Montgomery, Alabama. And his name is Buddy Bell, and you guys have probably seen him here over the past at least 9 years.
I did have a stint there too.
Did I not say that? Did I skip over that?
No. Are you trying to erase my history?
I'm trying to erase memories. That's one I can't erase. That's for sure.
That's funny.
Well, hey, have you guys had any members that have contracted this awful virus?
Not that we know of, Jeremy. So to this point, praise the Lord, no.
Well, I just learned yesterday my great aunt contracted it 2 days ago. Yeah, she's in a nursing home in Mississippi, and so she needs all the prayer she can get. But yeah, that's the only person related to me,
really?
Or even in my circle of friends that I've known that has contracted this, and so that was pretty scary. But Gateway pretty much has been free of it, it seems. So
has Pensacola been hit very hard?
Pensacola
hit very hard.
It was the first place that had a coronavirus case. I want to say in the United States. It came out. It came out so fast. There was somebody that was either at Baptist or Santa Rosa. I can't remember, but they contracted it. It was an older gentleman, world traveler, and he died from it.
Okay.
But he was one of the first citizens of the United States that got it. And since then, it's climbed. It's climbed pretty steadily. It's funny, though.
Okay.
Milton has a higher percentage of people that have had it than Pensacola, Gulf Breeze, or the surrounding areas. We can't
That's
distance
interesting.
ourselves.
Wow.
I,
No doubt.
I think everybody's getting it from Lowe's or Home Depot. That's my take, or Walmart.
It should be.
Yeah. So, you know, you and I have talked during this a lot about live services and everything like that. I'm curious, is it getting old for you guys yet?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like we're doing a better and better job of it, in what we're doing, but it's still not the same. It's you miss seeing people face to face, and I think our people are enjoying it, but, it's nothing like being together.
Yeah. Are people chiming in with opinions on how you do it? Not that ours are, but I'm just very curious.
Every once in a while we'll get an idea, or I think more what they like. Like we were first filming ours in our lobby, and then we moved more toward the worship center, and we did that on Easter, and it was like, oh, we like this better. It seems more normal, and so we've gotten feedback like that. I did lead one song this past Sunday, and we probably can get a lot of negative feedback about that.
You led the song?
Well, at the end of the service, I told Swindle I was feeling like it. I needed to, and so he handed me a mic, but the cords were cut. So but hey, Coon, you'll be happy. I did the Swindle beat your leg.
Yeah, you did. You patted your leg.
Yeah, I was actually on time.
Did you wear blue jeans?
Yeah, but they weren't tied enough.
Or sequined shirts?
Let's don't go there. No.
Yeah, I know it. We miss him too. I mean, that was a good get for you guys. We miss what he brings, but we're happy with Ryan. Ryan's doing a good job.
Sure, got a good thing going.
Oh yeah. So, what are some of the things you are learning personally through this time? Because I mean, there's a lot of challenges. I mean, just about Christianity in general.
Right.
What are some of the things God has laid on your heart during this time?
Well, the first thing that hit me when this started was, boy, I just live in too big of a rush, because I sort of figured out that every time I'm doing something, I'm thinking about the next thing.
Yes.
And I'm not just being in that moment. And so I think that has helped me more than anything to just say, slow down, relax, enjoy this moment. You can spend more time with the Lord now. Just don't try to check it off the box. You can get in a conversation with somebody on the phone and not feel like you're in a rush. So I think it's just that reminder that God meant for us to live life in a rhythm that had extended pause in it. Now we're being forced with one.
Yeah.
But it just has really reminded me that that's the way I'm supposed to be living all the time. Now, I don't want quite this kind of pause, but at least the whole Sabbath idea for sure.
Oh yeah. You know what's really weird? We often joke about this because we do things and something happens that follows that makes it fall into perfect place. So all last year, Seth taught a class on Sabbath, and I started co-teaching it. We did multiple things on Sabbath. And this year, we had declared last year, when we got here, this year was going to be the year of the Sabbath. And
wow.
then all of this happened.
Yeah.
So we had not overplanned the calendar. We had not made all these offerings, and we had not put all of our eggs in one basket. So when this hit, we were kind of ready for it. It was really
absolutely
weird.
You guys are prophetic.
It is. That's really weird. So have you hired a divorce attorney yet?
No. There have been some good conversations in our house.
Yeah.
But no, I think Stephanie and I have we've definitely adjusted to it. Of course, I do come to the office some. She's working from home, and we don't have the challenge like so many of you guys with children all over the house.
Sure.
So, you know, for us, it's been nice. There's some long walks. You know, we have to work on our pace is a little bit different, and so that we have to work on projects and work on that pretty well.
Our pace is different because Jennifer has legs that are 9 feet long, and so she outpaces me just by walking slow. It's crazy. I have really cherished, and I feel Seth and I both have talked about this. There is a guilt I have in that I have really enjoyed slowing down.
Yeah.
And I've really enjoyed my time at home with my kids. I feel like I'm getting more spiritual times and more spiritual discussions in with my kids that are more intentional, not like you need to, you know, shape up or, you know, those kinds of discussions. It's been more of a just, how are you guys doing? How's your prayer life? All those things. It's been remarkable.
That's awesome. You know, I've heard, Jeremy, from so many people with small kids in our church, and this is like Pensacola, baseball is crazy big here.
Oh, yeah.
So most of them would be having kids in baseball and soccer and run, and they're like, you know what? We like staying home.
Yeah.
We like not going through Chick-fil-A for dinner. We like having family conversations. And, you know, I hope, because I think there's so much peer pressure that you've got to have your kids involved in everything or you're doing them a disservice.
Right on.
And I think maybe we're finding the opposite.
Yeah. And, you know, I would even say financially, there are benefits to not involving your kids in everything that you're, you know, we've got Abby Grace and dance, Connor and swim. I mean, that stuff equates to hundreds of dollars every month. And now that it's unfortunate for those businesses.
Yeah.
For us, I mean, we're going, oh man, we got a little breathing room at the end of the month.
Just eating out for those events.
Yes, that's a big one. That's a really big one. As far as like what God is doing in the midst of this, you know, we have had some conversations with church people, with people even outside of church. Our outreach in just the social media world, through live streaming and different things has reignited some people who had kind of drifted away. And so I've fielded phone calls, had email messages, had Zoom meetings with people who just had some spiritual questions regarding what is God doing in this? Mm-hmm. Even neighbors. I've got one neighbor that has talked to me, Seth does as well, about asking us questions. Hey, you're a preacher, right? You know, what's God doing in this?
Great.
So how are you helping your people understand that God is not the great causer of the calamity, you know, the one who is just trying to be mean-spirited in order to kill people to get their attention? How are you helping people deal with that?
Well, I mean, I probably agree with what you would think. I don't blame God for causing this. I just have no question that God is going to use this. And, you know, he always has, and he always will. And I think the key for us and for our people is, are we going to learn the lessons he wants us to learn? You know, I've sort of got a choice. I think I can either be depressed or I can be refreshed. And it's a mental choice, and it's almost a daily choice. And so I think if we can, you know, go, you know, just everybody keeps saying, we've never lived through anything like this, which is true. And hopefully we'll never live through this again. But we're never going to have this opportunity. You're never going to have this much time with your kids. We're never going to have this much time with God. We're never going to have this much time maybe to rest a little bit, relax. So are we going to learn what God is trying to teach us in the middle of this pause?
Boy, that's good. That's really good stuff. One of the things Eddie and I talked about, because, you know, Eddie had kind of a background in helping other churches through consulting, doing ministry and things like that. We talked about the success the church seems to be having after having been forced into this much greater online presence. What sort of things are you experiencing with that? Have you guys seen Miracle Tune-ins and all that other stuff?
You know, Jeremy, if I can count what we think we're having, you know, our numbers for 2019 are going to look really great.
Right.
I mean, you know, we're seeing some Sundays as many as 5 times our normal crowd on
Right.
one of our platforms. So, and I'm like you, I'm seeing names pop up that have not been here in years. I see out of state, out of town. I mean, you know, I have a relative who probably at best claims to be an agnostic, who's watching almost every Sunday. You know, I knew we were getting somewhere when he gave me sort of a critique a couple of weeks ago. And, you know, Stephanie's got a brother that's watching. So, you know, I think we're seeing some really good things take place. And I'm wondering will this become sort of the first step of someone going to church? In other words, I don't even have to come in your building to check you out. I can watch you online, figure out what your message is, you know, sort of what the atmosphere is, what the spirit is, before I ever, that's how I'm wanting to see is we'll keep this thing going and this will become someone's first step. Because I think we forget what a big deal it is for someone to walk into a church building and how negative their expectations are, that they're going to be judged, they're going to be uncomfortable, people will wonder where they've been. And so I think we're seeing that happen, and I hope it'll keep happening.
Oh man, me too. Me too. I had a neat thing happen today. I don't know. Have you ever met Dr. Everett Ferguson?
I know of him and have read many of his books.
Well, I've reached out to him today because my grandfather, on his deathbed years ago, 2016, right before he passed away, he and I were, before he kind of started slipping deeper and deeper into, you know, kind of an unconscious state. He was very vibrant and very excited and having conversations. He shared with me a memory that I had forgotten about until today. And it was that he taught Everett Ferguson as a kid. My grandfather I know, my grandfather was his teacher. And you know, Ferguson, if you know, I'm sure, is probably one of the highest esteemed church historians on the globe.
Yeah.
And so I remembered a conversation that I'd had that I meant to follow up with, but I just got so busy, I left it. And so anyways, today at BibleGateway.com, this is a commercial, by the way, Gateway. So BibleGateway.com has finally done what I thought somebody was going to do. You've seen the very popular master's class that everybody's doing, like how to make a movie and how to act and how to cook a steak and all this other stuff. Well, now BibleGateway.com has formed a master's lecture, and it's professors from all over the country. Well, Everett Ferguson is one of them.
Wow.
And so, anyways, I logged on there and got into it, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to reach out to him and try to gain more information than my grandfather could get me, and hopefully he remembers. I mean, he's up there now. He's probably in his late 80s. But anyways, that was a neat thing that happened today. Again, hearkening back to the fact that we get so busy, sometimes
Did he remember?
I don't know yet. I'm waiting on his email.
Okay.
I'm so excited. I'm hoping he remembers, or he's going to say, I don't remember that guy.
Well, that's a claim to fame.
I'm telling you, it will be pretty neat. Well, if in closing, I mean, what kind of spiritual, inspirational advice would you give to people at Gateway right now?
I think we've said a lot of it, but I want to get a little more maybe focused, is use this time to go deeper in your relationship with God. Yesterday I preached on, John 11, and we immediately think the resurrection of Lazarus.
Yeah.
But what I finally noticed is there's very little in the chapter about the resurrection of Lazarus, about 7 verses. There's 39 verses about Mary and Martha having to wait.
Oh, yeah.
And so in the midst of them being actually perturbed with Jesus, it's obvious by the time Jesus shows up, they've been gossiping, because they use the same line, if you'd have been here, our brother would have died. In the middle of that, I feel like there were some things that God did to them and in their relationship with God. First of all, they received more of an eternal perspective. Even though Lazarus is resurrected, he's still going to die. Okay.
Right.
I mean, that's the main thing. They also, I think their prayer life changed to be more open and honest. I mean, they came to Jesus and pitched a fit.
Yeah.
You know, it was okay to go, why weren't you here? You know, how could you raise this Roman centurion from long distance and leave us hanging here? So I think our relationship with God can become more honest, our prayer life. I think we can develop emotional bonds, because even though Jesus is in the middle of this with them, and he knows Lazarus will resurrect, he still cries. I mean, that's the most powerful verse in the Bible. Jesus wept. So they feel this emotional tie. I mean, Jesus is groaning, he's hurting, they're hurting. And so I think in the middle of our pain, we've got to remember that Jesus is hurting with us, okay? Mm-hmm. And then the last thing is, I think our faith can grow, because your faith grows through going through experiences with somebody. And, you know, going through this and seeing that God is faithful, the next time something tragic happens in my life or your life or our country's life for that matter, we can know that God is going to be there and take care of us. So I guess my challenge to the wonderful people at Gateway is there's a lot of good things to learn here, but more than anything, help this develop your relationship with God to a deeper level that will last the rest of your life. See, my fear, Jeremy, is 6 months after this is over, am I the same person again? I just go right back to the way I used to live life.
Right on. Yeah, that's a great word. Well, man, I've loved hanging out with you. I know I wish we could do it in person, but this
yes,
is
sir.
fun.
Well, love being with you, Jeremy. Appreciate what you're doing down there. Appreciate all the people. It was that final homecoming, the old building was really, really special to all of us to be able to be a part of it. And so excited about the future.
Yeah, we're excited. We should be breaking ground very, very soon. One more permit to go. Woo, it's taking forever.
Good deal. Well, maybe by the time it's built, you can actually meet in it.
Wouldn't that be something if we couldn't?
That'd be crazy.
All right, man. Well, listen, I love you, and we'll sign off, okay?
All right. Thanks, Jeremy.
All right, man.